Well, we've talked a lot about creating things for our students within the classwork part of Google Classroom, but I'm going to go ahead and click create again because there's a couple more options in here we're going to take a look at. All right. One of them, of course, is a question. And all you're going to do is just pose a question for your kids and they're going to answer it. And then you'll have the option. Well, here, let me just open it up, put in your question. You can still add stuff to it just like you would do. It's almost like it's a complete assignment, except right here you have the choice. It's almost like you're making it almost like a quiz or a poll for your students. And you have this option over here where students can reply to each other or students can edit their answer. That choice is yours. You know your kids better than anybody, but everything else should look fairly similar. This is how we add a question. Now again, we have the ability to schedule it just like we do for an assignment. This is all just like an assignment, except we're just asking one question. It's already all set up for you in that one way. Okay, that's a question, right? Another one that you might want to do, you might want to reuse a post. We have a lot of teachers who want to copy Google Classrooms from last year, and they want all the assignments that they did last year into that Google Classroom for this year. And the only thing I say about that is that we have different kids from year to year, so that means our assignments should be different. But sometimes we have a really great assignment and we want to use it again this year. So when you click reuse post, it's going to ask you which Google Classroom would you like to share out. So, and you know, I want it to be this quiz, and I'm going to say reuse. And when I click reuse, then it's going to it'll set it up in this Google Classroom and let it go. And these are all the assignments that I've already done in this Google Classroom with everybody. So, and these are actually even from other Google Classrooms that I've created. And I can just reuse any one of those posts that I want. Only thing is if I've done a lot of assignments, I'm going to be looking through a lot of posts, and that might just be a little much for me. It just might be easier to use by just creating a new assignment. That might be what's easier for you instead of just reusing that post. Material, I'm going to tell you, it's hard for the kids to find that material. Some teachers are like, well, I'm going to put my syllabus in there and I'm going to put their reading, their PDF that they're going to do. I'm going to put a link to this and all of these things that they're going to need for the semester. That's wonderful that you have it all ready to go for them. However, sometimes kids aren't going to find this material piece. I'm just saying. We have teachers who don't find it when some of our specialists put out a Google Classroom for PD and they put everything in the material and they're just like, oh, you know, my goodness, I just don't understand why, you know, they're not finding it. It's not something that's easily found. So what I recommend doing is adding it as an assignment. So that way when they get to it, they can turn it in, even though they're not turning in anything, they just click the turn in button, showing that they've actually looked at that piece of material, downloaded it, added it to their Google Drive. That way you know that they are interacting with it within some way. So that's something that I would do.